There's a part of the Iron Man story almost no one talks about. A question fans whisper online. Hidden between theories, comments, and fan-made timelines, what if Tony Stark didn't truly die? At least not in the way we think. What if the universe never stopped rearranging itself after the snap? And what if the only person capable of fixing the final collapse wasn't an Avenger? Not a sorcerer, not even a guardian of the galaxy, but a child. This story begins years after the Stark cabin went quiet, after Pepper learned how to keep moving forward, and after Morgan learned how to smile again. Life wasn't the same, but it continued, slow, fragile, and peaceful. Or at least that's how it looked from the outside. Inside that cabin, however, the truth was waiting. Morgan kept her father's old workshop exactly the way he left it. She didn't understand half the things inside, but she loved that room more than anything else in the world. It smelled like metal, solder, and old coffee, the scent of the man she barely got to know. She would sit inside for hours after school, touching tools she wasn't allowed to use, staring at hologram pads that no longer turned on, and whispering questions to the empty air. One afternoon, while digging through a pile of dusty Stark tablets, Morgan accidentally triggered something. A faint hum filled the room, followed by a flash of blue light. Every dormant device around her suddenly powered up at once, like they'd been waiting for her specifically. Then a hologram appeared. Not a projected blueprint, not one of Tony's old sarcastic messages, but Tony himself, older, exhausted, and scared in a way she had never seen. "Morgan," the hologram said softly, "if you're seeing this, we're out of time." Morgan froze. Pepper came rushing in, thinking something exploded, but she stopped the moment she saw the hologram. This wasn't a normal recording. It was a confession, a warning. Tony explained everything the Avengers never knew. Destroying the stones didn't erase their cosmic influence. Instead, it created a temporal recoil, an echo that built pressure inside the timeline. One universe carried too much paradox at once. The snap, the jump to 1970, the return snap, the final sacrifice. Each event stacked on the last like unstable bricks. Eventually, those bricks would fall. "When I died," Tony continued, "the timeline fractured. Part of me was pulled into a temporal loop, frozen between seconds. If the loop collapses, everything collapses. Reality wipes itself clean. I've been trying to reach you for years, because you're the only person who can break the loop." Morgan's hands shook. Pepper covered her mouth, tears forming. "But Tony wasn't finished. There's a suit I built for you. Not an Iron Man suit. Something new. Something only you can use. If you're brave enough, it'll lead you to me." The hologram fizzled out. Morgan didn't scream. She didn't collapse. She simply whispered, "Okay, tell me what to do." Pepper cupped her daughter's face, terrified, conflicted, yet unable to deny the look in Morgan's eyes. It was the same look Tony had when he decided to fly into a wormhole with nothing but hope and stubbornness. The Stark look. Pepper didn't try to stop her, because she knew she couldn't, and because deep down, she felt Tony's message was meant for this moment. Over the next several weeks, Morgan studied everything in her father's files. She learned quantum theory faster than her teachers could have explained basic algebra. She rebuilt Tony's prototypes, traced hidden compartments, and uncovered a secret Tony never shared with anyone, even Pepper. Project S-13, a slender, unfinished silver suit stored inside a container labeled, "For Morgan, when she's ready." The design wasn't built for combat. It wasn't built for flying either. It was built for slipping between fractured layers of reality. A temporal stabilizer suit that only worked with someone whose nervous system wasn't fully locked into one timeline yet. Someone young. Someone exactly like Morgan. Friday, Tony's AI reactivated the moment Morgan accessed the project. "Welcome back, Miss Stark," Friday said gently. "Your father has been waiting for you." The workshop lit up brighter than it had in years. Morgan worked day and night. Pepper stayed beside her whenever she could, her heart torn between fear and pride. She watched her daughter grow into something terrifyingly powerful, a Stark, with the brilliance of her father and the grounding heart of her mother. Finally, the suit was ready. Morgan stepped into it. The metal unfolded like petals, adjusting automatically to her height. The chest piece locked into place, glowing with a compact arc reactor Tony designed specifically for her energy output. She felt the vibration in her bones. She was no longer just Morgan Stark. She had become Iron Girl. The moment she activated the suit, her reality trembled. A swirling portal opened in the air, pulling her forward not through space, not through time, but into the unstable void between them. She surged through. The void was not what Morgan expected. It wasn't darkness or chaos. It was silent, empty, like the universe had taken one long, unfinished breath. And in the center, glowing faintly, was Tony Stark, suspended in a fracture of frozen time, eyes closed, chest barely rising, a stasis loop holding him like an insect trapped in amber. Morgan's breath hitched. Tears blurred her vision. She whispered, "Dad." Her voice shouldn't have reached him. But somehow Tony's eyes opened slightly. He couldn't move. He couldn't speak. But for a split second, he recognized her. His eyes widened, filled with disbelief, then pride, then fear. Fear for her. Before Morgan could reach him, the void trembled. A soundless roar, like the universe itself objecting. A guardian formed from the collapse. A shifting figure made of fractured timelines, swirling with energy. It wasn't alive. It wasn't evil. It was simply the universe's enforcement mechanism, a cosmic immune system rejecting an anomaly. Rejecting Morgan. The guardian charged toward her. Morgan's heart thundered. She had never fought anything like this. She wasn't ready. But Tony once fought a god with nothing but a failing suit and determination. And she was Tony's daughter. "Friday," she said, "analyze it fast." "Miss Stark," Friday warned. "Any direct attack could trigger a universal collapse." "Not attacking then," Morgan whispered. "We outsmart it." She dodged, weaving through bursts of energy that tore through the void. Each missed strike erased pieces of the space behind her. She had to be perfect. No mistakes. Friday calculated. Morgan improvised. The Guardian grew enraged. Finally, Morgan saw it, a tiny crack in the stasis field holding Tony. If she could synchronize her suit's reactor with the field's frequency, she could destabilize it without triggering the collapse. But she would have only one chance. She planted her feet, aimed the reactor, and pushed everything she had into the pulse. The void erupted with light. The stasis field shattered. Tony fell forward, but Morgan caught him, her small arms wrapping around him as the Guardian shrieked and dissolved into collapsing timelines. For the first time in years, Tony Stark breathed freely. He looked at her, weak but alive. His voice cracked. "Morgan, you grew up." Morgan sobbed into his chest. "I came to save you." Tony smiled through tears. "You're just like your mother." But the void trembled again, stronger, angrier. Tony placed a weak hand on Morgan's cheek. "You shouldn't be here. If we stay together, the timeline will collapse. The universe can't handle two versions of me." "No," Morgan cried, shaking her head. "I just got you back. I'm not losing you again." Tony took a deep breath, full of fatherly love and infinite pain. "Hey," he whispered, "you already saved me. That's more than enough." Morgan clung to him, refusing to let go. But Tony pressed the arc reactor on her suit. It lit up, resonating with the stabilizer, pulling her back toward her timeline. "I love you 3000, Tony said as he faded. Morgan screamed his name, but the portal snapped shut. She landed back in her father's workshop, collapsing into Pepper's arms as the suit powered down. Morgan shook, sobbing uncontrollably, telling her mother everything. Pepper held her tightly, heartbreaking, proud, and knowing Tony made the only choice he could. Because even if he couldn't return physically, he was no longer trapped. He was alive in the timeline again, somewhere. Somehow able to exist without destroying everything. Morgan saved him, and she saved the universe. And now, the world had a new Stark, a new protector, a new legacy. Iron Girl was only just beginning.